point? Okay. So let's get started or not. Or let's do chit chat for a while. Okay, just like informally uttering words like that, everyday speech, like uttering words in an informal setting, like that, everyday speech. Nakakaloka everyday speech. Okay, get the point. Okay, oh my gosh. Oh, I really love it. Charot. Okay, wait. Oh gosh. Oh, kaya pala, in fairness. Oh. Somebody will really intervene me or intercept me. A lot intercepted me already that when I do the vlogs, okay, the writings are not clear because it's in reverse order. You get the point? So how can we do this? Because we are not intensifying, sorry, the length of the mobile phone holder. Right? We need to intensify. All right. Oh my gosh. Really? Yes. Oh. How can we do this, Charis? Oh my gosh. Wala, we. Diba? Ah, okay, like that. It's very difficult, right? Wait for a while, guys. So, I don't have my own assistant. Okay, in doing this vlog, that's only my own effort. So, it's not easy. Oh, I love it! Char. Right? Okay. Alright. Okay, nakakalok ka mga palangga. Oh, oh. Sorry po. Sorry talaga, no? Wait. Anyway, you can hear my voice, right? While I'm talking. But you cannot see me yet in the screen. Okay. Please, we have 40, right? Okay, we have 40 terminology today. Terminology, okay? So it's just the same thing as so many words. Okay, I think terminology is an accountable noun, that's why. Okay, just like what information, like that, equipment, that whether singular or plural, you don't have to add S. Okay? That's part of speech noun and uncountable noun. Right? So it's gonna be like that. Okay. Hello guys, hello everybody. Welcome back to my YT channel. This is your influencer and your content creator, Sotero, Junjun Inglesero. But I love to drink Pepsi, Diet Pepsi for tonight. Okay, wait for a while. Char! Okay, so I love this, guys. I was addicted to this. Oh! CO2 release, right? Oh my gosh. CO2, carbon dioxide. Okay, get the point. So the solid carbon dioxide, by learning, if you say a solid carbon dioxide in science, that is dry ice. Okay, and then if you say let's say carbon dioxide, it can be noted as greenhouse gases. And in the past, in the time of our alchemists, in the study of alchemy, if you can still remember, we are really the scientists in the past. Most of them are equivalent chemists nowadays. They call that as fixed air. Okay, carbon dioxide is called fixed air. But it's general carbon dioxide. We don't have to specify the state. But if you say dry ice, that is solid carbon dioxide. You get the point? So solid carbon dioxide means it is a type of carbon dioxide in powder form. Sorry, wrong grammar. Powdered form. Okay, because this stuff is usually the mistakes because we mean two nouns. We cannot mean two nouns. The other one must be a description to the other noun. So that's wrong grammar. But since that is only minor, then we opted to neglect as long as our sense is very understandable to the audience. Right? Because in speaking, we don't have to worry about too much in the grammar accuracy and in grammar range as long as our main point has been elucidated clearly and everybody can really understand quickly by using the basic English, but for the purpose of this study, to improve only our English language vocabulary. Okay, so that we are ready to face from various language assessment in the future. Wow, get the point? And it could really help us also to gauge our competence with regards to our language ability. Okay, you get the point? Things like that. Okay, so for example, nutritional value. Then if you say nutrition value, wrong grammar, because nutrition is noun, value is noun. One must be an adjective or a description to describe the noun. You get the point? Things like that. So nutritional value. You get the point? Ganon. Or is another example. Environmental aspect. Okay. Okay, environmental impact. Like that. Okay, the impact is a noun. The adjective of describing or description is environmental. It has to do something environment friendly, things like that. You get the point with regards to the environment. Okay, so what I'm trying to emphasize, avoid using two nouns. Okay, one of it must be a description. You get the point? Things like that. Nakakaloka, no mga palangga? Okay, get the point. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait. So I must tell you now, based on the study of OED, okay, that is Organization of really the Economic and Development Organization. Okay, Organization of Economic Development, OEDC, or C is gonna be the committee or a group of people. Okay, OECD. Okay. So in short, that is really the combination of government affairs. It is an international group or body for government affairs that have a forum and focusing on the taxation, okay, trade. It has to do something with exportation, importation, like that. Taxation, it has to do something with taxes, like that. Education, okay, technology, science, and the environment. And this is OECD, controls all over the world. So it has 38 members, things like that. You get the point? In Asia, the superior power for Asia is the Thailand. They're acting as a leader in OECD. You get the point? Things like that. And the Philippines are also participated, but not quite active because, you know, we did not improve our literacy that much. Okay, get the point? None. The literacy or the educated we mean here are those population that really graduated in college. Things like that. That is our benchmark when we say that this country is richer over the other. And this country will be the richest of all the countries, right? Comparative adjective. You get the point? Things like that. So, the richest or the most educated and literate country or population all over the world is, that is Canada. That's why you will see in your Facebook a lot of notification if you want to study internationally, always Canada, or else New Zealand, Ireland, like that, right? That's the reasons. Because they are a really educated country all over the world. Okay, things like that. You may wonder what's the reason of that? Okay, that's because of that. Canada is the most educated country in the world and the literacy is very high. You get the point? And they are the one also have a dominant, voice out of this English language to be calibrated and to be the benchmark of all the exams related to language. Because there's a lot of language, Russian, French, right? Polish, Arabic, Indian, Philippines, like Tagalog. But there are a lot of languages, and then they establish one, a universal international language, which is the English. You get the point? Things like that. And this has been done by the Council of Europe, and this has been started in 2001. 2001. Okay, and implemented fully in 2016. That's why this IELTS appears, this TOEFL appears, the CLB appears, like that. You get the point? Things like that. But TOEFL meaning this is the test for the test of English for foreign language. So TOEFL, the test of English for foreign language. And IELTS will be the International English Language Testing System. You get the point? Things like that. Okay, because there are countries that have three language like that. Okay, languages. I think so there's a plural of language. It's not uncountable noun, right? Correct me. Oh, English teacher, please correct me if I'm wrong, because it's not the same with information. That's you don't have to put s even though that's plural already. I think there's languages, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Two or more languages. So okay, I need to be sure, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I'm using s, but it's not really applicable because that is not qualifying to the grammar. Sorry for that. I'm not majoring also in English. It just happened that I love English. You get the point? Things like that. Okay, guys, I love this Diet Pepsi for life. This is called nutri sweeteners. Nutri sweeteners meaning these are not sucrose. Okay, but take note, this is 200 times sweeter than the refined sugar or the sucrose, but this not having calories. Things like that. You get the point? But the drawback is if you keep on drinking Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, you keep on craving to eat something. You get the point? And that is your discipline. After you drink Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke or whatever Zoda diet drinks, then you need to stop eating. You get the point? Because it is the one who you can control. It's not the websites, it's not the YouTube, it's not your friend, it's not your mother, it's not your father. You yourself can control. You get the point? Even though the theory will say that the more you drink like this, then it cannot it cannot do something if you will stop eating after drinking Diet Pepsi. So that's why in the websites, in different theories, that the more you drink also these drinks, even though that has no calories, it will lead you to obesity. Because that's the reason. After drinking this diet drinks, you still long for eating chocolates, ice cream, like this, or any sweets, like that. Then you cannot control. Okay? So, the studies cannot help. Okay? If you will really discipline yourself. Studies are just only studies. You get that? But if you try to understand further, then, I can make something. Okay? Because, sometimes the vlogs have no explanation. They're only trying to generalize something. You get the point that the more you do this, the more, for example, drinking too much, let's say, soft drinks, for example, and then it will lead to obesity, cardiovascular diseases, kidney malfunction, hyperacidity, gallbladder, problem. Get the point? But if this guy also will have exercise every day, it doesn't affect the illness. You get the point? That it means only generally that these people are not doing the exercise. But the problem is during their vlog, they don't explain. You get the point? That's why the audience will have also a generalization to be in that way. Okay, you get the point? So, number one, what food are you going to eat? Number one, number two, number three, number four, number eight, it can goes like this, it can goes like this. But there's no explanation that if you eat this, there's no problem unless the best way is to do an exercise, adjust your sleeping pattern like that. There's no explanation after all. So that's why, so it's not good to say like that, right? Okay, the viewers will be misled. So very what you call subjective. You get the point, things like that. You get the point. Now, start na topic, gawin kita human ani. Okay, get the point? Oh my gosh. Wait for a while because I need to finish the Diet Pepsi, okay? You get the point? Ah, okay, I love it. Now we start for invasive. What do you mean invasive? Okay, for example, in the past, okay, for example, in the Iron Age, in the Stone Age, like that, before it is, we have now the computer age, right? We have really so many invaders, meaning to say to rule the land. For example, the Spain will go to, for the purpose of discussion, will go to Malaysia, and then we will try to occupy there and make some war like that to own the land and to colonize that particular area to make them civilized according to their tradition, custom, like that. So this act of invading, okay, invading meaning dominance, even though the country it's not coming from yours. For example, Philippines civilized by Spaniards, like that. Okay, so we need to say they are invading the Filipinos before in the past. Okay, you get the point. The what we call this one, the first citizens of the country of Philippines, the Maharlika. Okay, because before that is a Maharlika before it became a Philippines, because that is coming from King Philip II. From the Spaniards, because we are civilized by them. Okay, so they are invaders to the country Philippines. So the act of doing this is invasive. You got the point? Things like so. Invasive is an adjective. Invading is an adverb. Is a verb, action verb, and invade is a noun. Things like you get the point. Now, invasive. So if you try to apply that in medical science or in medicine. That refers to, for example, tissues and cells that are rapidly spreading, like that, quickly, like that, or uncontrollably spreading at any time, multiplying at any time, propagating at any time, like that. That is invasive. You get the point? Things like that, and tend to propagate, okay, tend to spread, okay, and just being disrupted, okay, things like that, and very quick to go there, things like that. You get the point? It's like a process of mutation. You get the point? Things like that. You get the point? But the invasive in medical science have a negative connotation. You get the negative notion. It means really that these are referring to the abnormal growth of the tissues that tend to rapidly spread or quickly spread and producing harmful effect. Okay, and producing deadly effect like that. Okay, you get the point? Because it turned out to be malignant. Things like that. You get the point? Muna siya pasabot sa invasive in medical science. For example, tumor cells, cancer cells are invasive. Okay, because it will really spread quickly 1 billion times through the process of mutation, like that. Okay, not only propagating, spreading, but at the same time, the appearance and form will change. The size, the dimension, the behavior, and create another strain. In medical science, the product of mutating one over the other and producing another, species is called, it's really called mutation product, and it's called a new species. You get the point? Things like that. You get the point? Mona siya. And then, so popularly known as a strain. S-T-R-A-I-N. For example, if the virus will spread quickly, propagate quickly, multiply quickly a billion of times, then there's another strain of virus. Meaning there's another form or appearance of a virus. And then it's just being used extensively as a vocabulary, but actually it means the same thing. A strain is also new form, a new appearance of another virus. Or let us say, another existence of another virus. You get the point? Or should we say, we can do a lot of terminology as we want, as long as we understand it is a newborn species. Or let's say another, if you try to apply that also in a large point of view, entity, another entity. Wow. Guys, mabuang dyan ako sa vocabulary. Okay, get the point. So number 2. What do you call by malevolent? Oh, you are so malevolent. I don't like you. Because in a good view, then the chance is we'll be turning into adversities. And then our life will be full of ads, ODDS, meaning negativities, or full of pessimistic impact. Wow, pessimistic, grabe. Okay, get the point. So malevolent. I mean to say also, and it has a nature, evil nature, and also evil effect. It's gonna be like horrible, things like that, and also harmful. And then another term for that also is injurious, from the word injury, injurious. And another term also, it looks like hazardous. Okay, actually there's a lot of terminology if you want, if you dig deeper that vocab for this, huh? But our time will be consumed if we will focus only to one word. Okay, get the point. So number 3, malignant. Oh, the tumor of the breast of my sister is malignant. We're very afraid if it will turn out to stage 3 cancer. Things like that. Meaning to say, okay, there's an abnormal growth of the tissues that are uncontrollable. Okay, and then it needs a lot of rigorous, and meticulous, diagnosis and treatment. Things like in order it will be healed and it will be stopped, or it will be recovered 100%, like that. Okay, meaning the abnormal growth of tissues spread to the other parts of your body. That's why it is cancerous, and that's malignant term. You get the point, meaning active. You get the point. So the more it is active, the more it will go there, spreading to other parts of your body. So you need to kill that. Okay? So diagnosis and treatment will be more for that. So if it cannot be controlled, then you undergo chemotherapy, things like that for that. You get the point? By the using of chemicals as your therapy in order not to spread the abnormal growth of the tissues. Okay, that's the meaning of chemotherapy. Chemo, there are chemicals. Therapy is an addition, make it one word. So chemotherapy. A therapy that uses chemicals to stop the growth of the abnormal growth of these tissues. Ganon. So you can create your own definition because you understand the terminology. You get the point? Okay, so this is not being bookish. Okay, number 4, or word forward. Number 4, what is intrusive? For example, oh, you are so intruder because you always come in our boundary, in our house. Meaning to say, if we try to be strict in the terminology, it looks like you are alien from our place. Alien doesn't mean only for the universe, okay, for the outer space. It can be applied also in talking into informal language. The meaning of alien, meaning outsiders, away from your boundary and jurisdiction. But be sure you can use that appropriately in a sentence. Okay, so I don't want you because you always come in our boundary and you are an alien from us. We have to say out from us. Okay, you are not a part of us. So that is alien. You get the point? So it doesn't mean only focusing to the alien, the creatures that are no longer existed nowadays, like animals existed in Jupiter, like that's only through movies. Okay, we should expand our understanding what is the term alien. Okay, that's also part of my vlog, to expand our knowledge of the different possible meaning of the particular words in which we always understand that in that way. Meaning to say, limited. Because we hear that in that way, only like that forever. You get the point, so we need to apply that in another sense of a sentence. Okay, in order for us to learn. You get the point? It doesn't mean also that your work doesn't involve writing, doesn't involve reporting. You don't need to learn because we need to speak. Okay, and sometimes we need to speak to introduce ourselves, to describe ourselves. What are your experience during the interviews, like that, or you will be able to join a training in the future. You're participants of a training, and there will be an interactive classes, and then you have to say something. And then your classmates are speaking a lot, and then you are like this. So it will be also embarrassing at the moment. So this is for your own learning and advancement also. Okay? You need to cope up. Okay? You get the point in things like that, in the challenges around us. Okay? You get the point. So meaning to say, I'm teaching you, or teaching us not to be stagnant. Let's keep going forward and forward in terms of knowledge empowerment. Okay. Number 4, what do you mean by intrusive? Meaning to say, oh my gosh, you are causing annoyance and disruption because you are not welcomed and you are uninvited. Of course, for example, if there are strangers, normally they are not invited, they are not welcome to be there, or else they are not called strangers if that is the case. Okay, stranger can be alien from you because you don't know them. You don't see them most of the times. You don't know their character. You don't know their personality, and because that is alien also, You get the point, things like that. But the application, take note, in a sentence, it should be perfectly appropriate. You get the point, things like that. So that's intrusive. Okay, for example, you're so intrusive, I don't like you because, for example, I'm studying now, and he always knocks the door and disturbs me while I'm studying. I don't invite him to come into my room, but he comes unexpectedly, things like that, and he caused annoyance, annoying, things like that. She disrupted me from my study. So, he or she is intrusive. Okay? Like that. Okay. Intruder is a person, but describing or adjective is intrusive. And the root word is intrude. Okay, the intruding is an ing form. Okay, or the gerund term for intrude. You get the point, things like that. And then intrude can be used also as a noun based in the sentence you use, and can also be used as a verb. Just like the word, for example, there's a lot I cannot mention. This vlog is on the spot, guys. Sorry. Okay, sometimes I cannot think because this is on the spot. This is not scripted. Okay, number 5, benevolent. What is benevolent? You get the point? Okay, when you say benevolent or benevolent, Jessima, you need to drop the letter T at the last in your pronunciation, or you can carry that a little bit for American English. For British English, you will say benevolent. Okay, you got the point. So this is being kind, being generous, the feeling of giving support, moral support, spiritual support, financial support, like that. Okay, you got the point? So you always bestow the blessings that the Lord gave to you to others as well. So this is benevolent. Okay, you get the point. So the act of having benevolent is benevolence. Okay. Take note also where to apply the word benevolent and the benevolence. Okay, because it matters in your utilization of sentence or your phrasing and construction of sentence. Okay, you get the point? And then, number 6, excrescence. Wow, I love this. Okay. Nakakaluka. Okay, you get the point? What is excrescence? Difficult, right? So, spelling. E-X-C-R-E-S-C-E-N-C-E. Okay. The root word here is crescent. And then there's a prefix X, meaning outer. If we mean X, that is outer. It's called extraterrestrial bodies, meaning it's outside. You get the point? If you put X, you put in, that's internal. So I will say exothermic reaction, endothermic reaction, things like this in English, right? So many. I cannot explain all. Okay? Excrescence, like this. Meaning to say this is an abnormal or unusual growth of something. Okay? Get the point? So, unusual or abnormal growth of something. Why something? Because something it can mean an object, a thing, a phenomenon, a process, like that. So that's why of something. You get the point? So it's up to you how to use now. As long as it is an abnormal or unusual growth of something. But in a medical science point of view, this is really related to the skin surface, tissues, cells, muscles. For example, if your skin is becoming bulge and it's swelling, things like that, then that's the process of excrescence. Oh, I have now the excrescence. But it looks like awkward to say that. You will feel uneasy for the difficult words, right? Sometimes. You get the point? So it's also not good to hear, oh my gosh, I have an excrescence in my skin. Though it looks like having a higher impression, but it looks like awkward. Awkward meaning you feel uneasy, discomfort in using that word, inconvenient, uncomfortable, things like that. That is awkward. Okay, get the point? Because it's not the way should supposed to be. But then you act like you force yourself to do something that's awkward. Okay, get the point? You will feel uneasy. So sometimes it's awkward. But if you are confident really, and then your sentence utilization looks like perfection, then you can use that excrescence, right? Even though they will laugh, don't be bothered. Don't be worried because that is the correct grammar. Okay, you get the point. So this is the technique. Okay, if you practice really how to speak properly and to improve your English communication skills, even though the others will laugh at you, you will ignore them. Don't be bothered. Don't be worried by them because you're improving yourself. Get the point? And that's very clear. Okay, things like that. Number 7, swelling. Hello? Swelling, the state of being swollen. Wow, ano ba swollen? So you get the point. So we introduce a definition, and then again somewhere along the way there's also one word that we cannot understand, right? Okay, being swollen meaning there's a enlargement, localized enlargement of, example, tissues, cells, like that. You get the point? Or there's an abnormal, okay, protuberance. Oh, laon na po kayo, no? Protuberance. Okay, you get the point? So meaning to say, there's an enlargement of the muscles and tissues somewhere along the parts of your body, just like a lump, L-U-M-P. What do you mean by a lump in English? For example, I will say, Junjun, please put a lump of sugar in the glass because I will drink coffee. Meaning, a certain amount of substance, okay, adequate, that group together, treated in a single unit, so that it has meet the purpose and objective. Like a lump of stones, a lump of rocks, like that. So please, we make cement today, so produce lump of gravel, like that. So adjective, meaning grouping together one rock over the others, and then so many stones, so that's lump. So the same also in considering our skin, the muscles are lumped together and it's growing and it's bulging, things like that. That's swelling. But there's an enlargement. But the only difference is that when you say swell or you're being swollen, you will feel the pain, things like that. And it will turn out to be reddish. The ability of being, the appearance of being red in color. That's reddish. Just like saying yellowish, pinkish. Okay, the color now will become an adjective if you try to describe. You get that? So that's a pinkish skin. Okay, but sometimes it looks like perfection, right? Because if you say you have a pink skin, actually, if you try to be straight, that's wrong grammar. It should be pinkish or reddish because you are using that color to become an adjective because the color is noun originally. Blue, yellow, like that. These are all nouns referring to color. But when you describe something, you will add sh. The pinkish, reddish, grayish, like that. But if you see whitish, it's wrong grammar also. So there's a rule and exemption. There's no whitish, huh? Okay, get the point? So, very broad, right? In English language, things like that. You need to be extra careful of the rules and exemptions also. You get the point? Things like that. And then, that swelling, very clear. Meaning of protuberance, I will explain later for that also. Okay, it's next, sorry. The protuberance. The protuberance is very dangerous word. Not dangerous, meaning very strange word in which you don't meet before in your entire life. Things like that, you get the point. So I am now 47 years old, starting from 1 year old until 47 years. This is the first time I meet the word protuberance. Okay, meaning to say, if you are a wide reader, you always meet new words and familiar words day by day. And then you need to learn that by jotting it down, putting that in a sheet of paper and studying what's the meaning. And then apply it in a sentence, or even though you're not applying a sentence, just understand it. By the time you will use it in the future, you can do that in your writing, email, like that, okay? Things like that. Like me, when I do the emails, I don't Google. Things like that, you get the point. And I will try to vary every time I will make emails. A lot of terminologies there, not the same. Okay, you get the point. As if you are the recipient, sometimes you will be happy if you're also good in English. But if you are not good in English, you will be struggle. Things like that. Okay, because I kept on varying the grammar and the vocabulary somewhere in my emails. Because I'm very verbose. You know verbose? Loquent and wordy. Because journalism trained us to be like that. We don't suffer the main point over the number of words. Because it's the versus the sense, the main point versus the number of words. There are also cases kasi, for example, if you have thesis, feasibility study, you will not really try to hit the mark that you need to reduce your words. Then how about your ideas and content? It will not become substantial more because you delete the substantial points. There are also really topic that even though you memorize, you summarize that very well, still lengthy because of very enormous and wide, main point and ideas in which you will not compromise that just to summarize in a very short, paragraphs. You will feel that also when you become a writer in the future. Things like that. You get the point? So, me, I'm not a writer in the present, but I was a writer in the past, in the journalism. As I told you, I want to become a broadcast journalist. But unfortunately, I am engineer. You get the point? Things like that. Okay, never mind. Okay, so number 9. So we have puffy, like how can you pronounce that? Puffy, things like that. So you will pronounce that extensively or elegantly. Well, things like that, or world-classly. There's a term world-classly? I think no, right? So because I love to fabricate words and create my own words, and it's okay or not. And later I will try to look for the Cambridge Dictionary, Oxford Dictionary. Then first I need to be creative and imaginative of the words in my brain. It will be rumbled a lot day to day. Okay, then okay, I will use this as an adverb like that. But I'm playing only in my mind. When I walk like that, I'm not vocal. Of course, they will say after that I am crazy. Okay, this is only my genes and my DNA. Okay, things like that. Okay, every time. And just like before in my education, elementary, high school, whenever I go to the street, the lessons still engraved into my mind. Things like that. You get the point. So meaning to say the lessons will not stop in school, or the learning will not stop in school. Still applied in every walk of life, even though I am at home. Okay, this type of attitude really helps in passing high standard examination. For example, the licensure examination or whatever world-class examination in the future. Let's say English, like that. Okay, so for me, I don't go to the face-to-face training, things like that. So I also excel, right? Things like that because my genes is all about like that. The point things like, and I don't know really. Okay, sometimes I cannot explain. Okay, I need to talk to, because I cannot sleep properly if I cannot share information. There's so many in my head, things like that, the furies, oh, like that. Okay, so I always laugh at myself when my classmates in CIT University labeled me as a photographic memory. My award is a photographic memory. Really? And then I said, no, I'm not like that. This is just my natural. Things like that. You get the point? Because during Ring Hop, right? During your fifth year, there's a lot of awards and rewards. I was really surprised. But they give me an award such like that. Photographic memory daw. May nakakalokin na ako photographic memory. Kakaloka. You get the point? So, it looks like jocular. Jocular meaning full of humor or ridiculous things like, or it looks like really whimsical, meaning funny. You get the point? It's the vocabulary of being funny. Like that, you get the point? So, an individual that really always emphasizes jokes, humor. So, this is being jocular, whimsical, ridiculous, like that, or being comic in character. C-O-M-I-C. That's why we have comical skits, meaning laughter. Okay, things like that. Invoking laughter. Or bringing the audience into laughter. Get the point? Things like that. That's protuberance. The protuberance really is an abnormal bulging of something that projects from the surrounding. It looks like very ambiguous, right? Or skeptical in understanding. Meaning to say, oh my gosh, that is so equivocal. Well, meaning to say, confusing. Things like that. Okay, so how can I explain this clearly, child? Okay, meaning, so for example, if I will draw here, this is the skin, surface, and there's tissues inside like that. So, you get the point, abnormal bulging. From the word abnormal, it's not normal. So, bulging meaning enlargement. There's an increase the size of the muscles, like that. Okay, that out, meaning going out, and then project from the surrounding. Project meaning it spreads out because it's from surrounding. Okay, we use the pronoun from. Okay, from, to, of, when. So we must also learn how to use this. Okay, conjunctions or connectors. The with, the together, the of, the from, the to, like that. Okay, because there's a little bit of difference in how to apply that one also in a sentence. Okay, things like that. Okay, I discussed that already 3 days ago, right? When to say from to, made from, made of, like that. You got the point? Things like that. Okay, so it has to do something with the bulging, right? So it's okay now. The term bulging will do, even though you will not have too much words. You get the point? So, example, if you are tired already, just go with one sentence, one term only. That will be enough. Okay? But if you want to maximize your learning, you need to go for other synonyms. Okay? So that you can change somewhere along the way during your first paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph, because it's so, boring also to keep on repeating words over and over again. For example, you have an incident report, and give HSC recommends, HSC recommends, HSC recommends, HSC recommends, HSC recommends, like that. Now, since not open-minded because of pride, okay, they will not also accept. They still believe that it's okay to use over and over again. Because actually, the point is very clear, but the problem only is the formality of the English utilization. You don't have to repeat from number 1 to number 10 always. HSE recommends, HSE recommends, HSE recommends, HSE recommends. You have to revise that. You say, HSE suggests, HSE, it would be better that You can, like, there's a lot of terminologies all over the world. Why keep on repeating? It is recommends, it is recommends, it is recommends, it is nakakaloka. You get the point? So it looks like our learning in English is not improving, if that is the case. Okay, then me also as a person, I have only one time helping. So if the person will not accept the help, then fine. Because he don't want to learn. At the point, things like that. Okay? Because of pride. Okay. We know already the point is there. No problem about the point. That's technical. But the phrasing is very, very important to create impression. You get the point? Especially if you are an engineer, if you're a professional, meaning to say you're really, profession, things like that. Whatever. Okay. So we have here, number 9, puffy. What do you mean by puffy? Oh my gosh. Okay, what do you mean by puffy, guys? Okay. Meaning puffy, abnormal, distended. Another word na sabi, no? Ay, nakakaloka. Abnormal, distended from a fluid, gas, or a liquid. Okay. So distended is another term equivalent as extended and expanded. Take note the rhyming of those words so that you can easily remember. Then you need to achieve the rhyme, how it sounds in similar way, like that, or extended, distended, expanded, so it looks like the same. So that's your clue or hint or your indicator, things like that. Okay, so it's very easy, right? So, distended is also extended and expanded, so you can change now there. Abnormal extension, you will not use extended already because it's wrong grammar. So abnormal extension, okay, right? Get the point of something from the fluid, liquid, or gas. Again, something na naman because it has to do something with so many things. It could be an object, it could be a part of your skin, like that. You get the point? In medical science, this normally refers to the tissues, the cells, the muscles, like that, or the fluids, things like that. Okay, then the clue there is abnormal. Abnormal, meaning this is not normal. You get the point? Things like that. And remember, from, fluid, liquid, and a gas. Things, meaning also from, driven by them. Okay, you get the point? Because from. You get the point? So this is the application of from. Okay, from liquid. So they drive this particular enlargement. Okay, for example, if you are contact to water, your skin will bulge. Okay, so the driver for that, in order that your skin will grow, is the liquid that is using from. It's not the liquid that will bulge, but it is only the driver. You get the point? Meaning to say, another term for the driver is the precursor, so that it will yield a particular enlargement of your skin. You get the point? Things like that. Okay. Number 10 is very easy. Distended, expanded, extended, blah, 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 so and so. Okay, get the point. Oncology. What is oncology in medical science? I love it. Okay. We studied already 60 terminologies in terms of GG, biology, like hematology, like that. I told you last 3 days ago, right? So we added oncology. What is oncology? Okay, this is a branch of medicine that deals with the study of the diagnosis and treatment of disorders for our tumors. Okay, tumors ang study niya, no? You get the point? The treatment and diagnosis of tumors. Specifically, the abnormal growth of tissues that rapidly spread in any parts of your body. Because once it is a tumor, that is malignant, active. You get the point? Things like that. So that is oncology. Or you can say also it is a branch of medicine that deals with the study of the diseases of tumors. Things like that. You get the point? Things like that. So as long as you know there's diseases, this is order, it's all about the tumor. If you say oncology, put in your brain cells tumor. And then you can fabricate your own definition. Get the point? The key term there is tumor, and you will revise that phrase that in a particular paragraph sentence, then bingo, you can have it comprehensively. Okay, number 12. Hydronephrosis. It looks difficult, right? Okay, because I'm trying hard to learn medical terms because it's part of health is wealth. You get the point? We need to protect our health from any illnesses and diseases and ill health effects. You get the point? Or diseases, things like that. So hydronephrosis. Take the terminology. Hydro means water. Okay. If you end with SIS in medical science, that's disease already. For example, SIS, tonsillitis, things like that. Okay. Bronchitis, like that. There's a lot. Appendicitis, like that. If it ends in IS, that's disease already. Okay, psychosis. This is in the neurology, in the brain. Okay, you get the point. So by the way, that is neurology because that's based on neurons. That's why neurology. You get the point, things like that. Okay. So neurology, as we reviewed, this is really the branch of medicine that deals with the study of the treatment and the diagnosis of the disorder of the brain or the central nervous system. Okay, but oncology, tumor talaga siya, ha? Okay. Hydronephrosis, it looks like, not looks like, it's really the definition, the branch of medicine that deals with the study of the swelling of your kidney. Since you know already the definition of swelling, then you can understand by making it short already. Enlargement, bulging, blah blah blah, so and so. Okay, so meaning, or we can say in a direct manner, it is the bulging and the enlargement of our kidney. That is hydronephrosis due to the presence of hydro water, or not word for word in effect, it could be also fluid. Okay, you get the point. Sometimes hydro can be used also as a representative of all the liquid like that, but not necessarily water. You get the point? Things like that. But to make safe, because water also is one of it, just make it water as the main point. What I'm trying to emphasize only, that it will not only mean water, representative of all the fluids. Okay, it could be the acids, like that. It could be the fluids or any. Okay, the saliva, whatever, the semen, like that. Okay, as long as this is really a liquid. You get the point? So hydronephrosis. Okay, malfunctioning of the kidney by observing the valves appear. Things like that. You get the point? So problem, then you do the dialysis for that. Okay, so very expensive. Okay, get the point. So now, we have nephrology, and very easy because nephrology and nephro, it has to do something with kidney. Again, nephro, it has to do something with kidney. Okay, so if you say nephro specialist, meaning they are the physician or doctors that treat and study under the diagnosis of the kidney. If you hear the word nephro, kidney, shadow. Okay, nephrology is a branch of medicine that deals with the study and the treatment and the diagnosis of the disorder of kidney. Okay, get the point? That is nephrology. Sometimes you can get the clue and you can fabricate our own definition. Okay, number 14, lucid. What's another term of lucid? That is bright. Okay, gleaming, garish. You get the points, or blinding. Blinding is not also word for word, ha? We mean of blinding meaning too much light. It looks like it will blind you. You get the point? But actually, it doesn't blind you, meaning it is full of light, bright light. But to make it safe, do not use that if you are not really sure. Okay? But it has the same meaning with lucid, blinding, garish, gleaming, shining. You use shining, but be sure your sentence there also match. You're mentioning let's say, the incandescent bulb. You're mentioning also the fluorescent light, because shining can be used also in the floor. and it's not talking about the light, be sure that your sentence will match. That's why I told you, it depends on the sentence utilization and phrasing and construction. That's why synonyms are always like that. It doesn't make you always use that every time. It depends on the context in your paragraph, in your sentence, that it is used appropriately. You get the point? Because in speaking, you have high grade or high scores if you use your vocab appropriately. You get the point? How you use it with accuracy, with preciseness. Well, preciseness or precision. Okay, got the point, things like that. Now we have benign. B-E-N-I-G-N. Okay, cancer cells are two types. Some also have benign, some also have malignant. So benign is inactive, meaning it will not spread quickly, harmfully, and disruptly to another parts of the human body. The growth of the abnormal growth of the tissues, like that. Okay, it can be controlled, it is treatable, things like that. In medicines, that's the meaning of benign. But in the ordinary English general, that is being gentle, being smooth, being soft-spoken, being weak. And you say, oh, you are so benign today. What happened? What happened to you? You're so benign. Meaning, you are very slow, weak. It looks like you are exhausted, you are tired, like that. The same meaning with a benign, but in another context. In your sentence. You get the point? So, the context in medicine and the context in general utilization in English, talking about your particular mode at that time. You get the point? Oh, they are so benign today. What happened? Because they lost last night. Yeah, yes, they lost last night. It was a crucial game, by the way. Like that, okay? So, things like that, right? Okay. Number 16. And antigene. Sometimes others also pronounce that as antigene, but it would be better to pronounce it as antigene. Okay? Not anti. Okay, you get the point? So, it depends, but we should review that whether it is American English or British English, but to be safe, I will use anti. You get the point? Okay, things like that. When you mean of antigen, it is always coupled with toxin. Okay, because antigen is, this is really a toxin-causing microorganism. Okay, things like that. So, we need to put that in this way as our identification, as our indicator to understand this comprehensively. Okay, so that we will memorize as quickly as we can. Then we need to make it short and then beautify your phrases later. Maximize through writing and everything. I need to teach you about this. Toxin dash causing microorganisms. Okay. Or organisms. Okay. Again, antigen refers to toxin causing microorganisms, meaning these are the microorganisms or organisms that will produce toxins into your body. These are antigen. Okay, that's why our immune system will fight them. Okay, so that to fight body's infection, because these toxins can cause body's infection. And that's the job of our immune system. That's why we need to have a background on the study of immunology. Okay, in biology, to become healthy. You get the point? Things like that. So, toxin-causing microorganisms is antigen. Examples, bacteria, virus, parasites, worm, foreign material in your blood, germs, germicidal actions, things like that, okay? And then E. coli, Escherichia coli, or any bacterium species, things like in the food. Sometimes also the molds, MOLDS. The molds from the yeast. You get the point? So these are all really toxin-causing microorganisms or organisms. So the driver or the K player, okay, are the microorganisms and the organisms. They are the one who will produce toxins. That's why they are causing it to appear or to produce or to have. You get the point? That's why toxin dash causing. Okay, antigen is the meaning of antigen. Okay. Now antibodies, there's also anti. So what is antibodies now? For example, if we have the COVID-19, okay, the virus that have so many strains that so many people die, and the morbidity rating is so high, the death rate of this is so high all over the world. Somewhere along in 2020 and 2021, this is really the outbreak of this, pandemic, COVID-19. Now, there's antibodies would help a lot if you have enough level of antibodies, because these are all antitoxins. Okay, meaning this will fight toxins into your bodies, okay, inside your body. So antibodies is also not known as antitoxin, another name for antitoxin. Okay, like that. Okay, so antibodies has also synonym, antitoxin, things like that. So what really antibodies all about? Okay, when you mean of antibodies, what's that? If you study biology, in the topic of macromolecules, right? What are those macromolecules? For example, the person cannot live up to 50 years if we don't have enough levels of macromolecules. Or let's say biomolecules. Okay. What are those? So these are carbohydrates, protein, fats, lipids, acids, minerals, vitamins, blood, fluids, vitamins already class, water, like that, flavonoids and antioxidant, things like that, okay? And then the other one are polyphenols, are very powerful in our immune system. Polyphenols substance, because it has reached of these antibodies, then it will also, the more we have polyphenols in our body, the more our immune system will be stabilized. This can be done by eating a lot of citrus fruits, okay, because a lot of citrus fruits have polyphenols, chemicals, okay, and antioxidants as well. Okay, muna silang grupo flavonoids, okay, antioxidants, o polyphenols. And then after that, we'll collaborate ang vitamins. Usually the vitamin C will collaborate for that. Okay? So, these four will be blended in our vaccine. So it's put in our arm. So it's obviously it will establish immunity. What do you mean by immunity? So it will capture every time these antigens will go there, because it can be recognized by the antitoxin antibodies. Okay, now we can create now our definition. Antibodies is the blood protein, okay, produced or driven by counteracting a specific antigen. So it's very clear, counteracting the specific antigen, and that's the job of our antibodies. And then not only that, it will also be chemically combined to other substances in our body, so that it will recognize, again, the word alien. It will recognize the alien. The alien here are the microorganisms I mentioned a while ago, which is bacteria, parasites, worm, germs, like that. So the moment they will recognize that, okay, they will trap this. And the one responsible for killing is our white blood cells. Okay, that's why we should have enough white blood cells that can be produced and excreted in our bone marrow, part of our lymphatic system, right? Okay, if you study the anatomy and our physiology a little bit, even though you are not a doctor, you touch a little bit, especially if you're a professional, it will help a lot in our health, really, 1000% sure. Okay, get the point, things like that. Okay, so that's the job of our antibodies. So, if you mean, give me an example of the aliens of our immune system. Then you think, so because you are word for word, because what you understand about alien is, in the universe, the creatures, strange creatures in the universe, in the Jupiter, like that, and try to communicate with the person, just like a movie, the E.T., the extraterrestrial movie. I have a thing, so take me wherever I go. That's E.T. Hollywood movie, right? You limit only your understanding for the term alien for that particular context. That's why you cannot answer if the question will be revised. Enumerate and list at least 6 aliens, okay, that our immune system fight. The answer will be parasites, bacteria, worm, germs. So meaning to say the aliens here are the antigens. You get the point? Ganon! Okay. Number 18. Any questions so far? You can drop out messages in the FB Messenger. We can discuss this professionally. Okay. Toxins. What do you mean by toxins? Okay. Okay. This is a poison. Okay. Caused by, okay, the plants and animals and microorganisms. Okay. Poison na siya ha. Remember, toxin is a poison caused by microorganisms or organisms. Okay. So, ano siya? Poison. Okay. So, meaning to say, poison causing. Okay. Poison causing substances na siya. You get the point? Because toxins referring to substances, unwanted substances in our body. So, we will say, poison dash causing substances. Not the same here in our antigen. Toxin dash causing microorganisms. So be careful in your, variants or how you manage your definition. Get the point. You should be clever enough for that. Okay, get the point. So toxins must be poison causing substances. Okay, from plants and animals, driven by plants and animals, and also microorganisms. Okay, things like that. Okay, poison causing substances. Okay, get the point? Okay, now, without poison, it cannot cause illnesses and diseases. And that's very clear. Get the point? So, pathogens. Close na sa tanan yung pathogens. What are these pathogens? Now, I will teach you for something. The first thing to learn is the word pathogy. Okay, pathogy. Get the point? Or pathology. But if you say pathy or pathology, meaning that is the root word. Okay, get the point? Get the point? Okay, because you say apathy, pathy. If you can still remember that, so it has to do something with empathy, sympathy, pathy, apathy. Oh. If you review our English vocab, meaning sympathy, you need to sympathize the feelings of others by giving moral support. Okay, spiritually, even though there's no direct and physical contact, that is sympathy. Now, if you will use empathy, the same with sympathy, but there's a physical connection. You need to share the feelings by comforting him, like that, giving money so that he can survive financially. This is the higher level of sympathy. You get the point? But the same in nature. Having the feelings toward others. But you do actions specifically like materials giving, finances giving, like that. Or you go that person to comfort them, to really help them out. So empathy is higher degree compared than sympathy. You can sympathize, but you don't do something. You don't give money like that. Blah, blah, blah. Only moral support, advice like that. This is only sympathy. But empathy is, deeper than sympathy. But it means positive. All. That is sympathy, empathy. Now, what is apathy? Right? So apathy means you don't have the feeling towards others. Okay, that is apathy. Okay, get the point. What is pathy? And now this is the whole disorder. Pathy is the root word of pathology. Right? So pathy. So pathology. Because when you say study, it will end usually with GY. Goat, G, and the Y. It's like pathology. But the root word there is pathy, meaning disorder. You get the point? Again, what do you mean by pathy? P-A-T-H-Y, disorder. Okay, now, when we see about pathology, it's the study of the cause and effects of the diseases, and then especially involves laboratory tests analysis of the particular body samples of tissues for treatment and diagnosis. And that's really the comprehensive definition of pathology as a branch in medicine. You get the point, things like that. Okay, now, pathogens, meaning disease-causing substances na ta. Because we mean pathology kasi, means pathy is disorder equivalent to a disease. And that disease is a disorder. Technically, we will say pathogens, or disease-causing substances, because pathogens are substances, not microorganisms. You get the point? So, I will put now here. Okay. This is to draw the line, what's the difference between toxins, antigens, and pathogens during examination. So that you can really extract the difference between these three medical terms in your own understanding, even though you are not a medical student, even though you are not a medical professional. You get a point. Basic only in medicine. Okay. That's why the medicine or the health profession is so selfish sometimes, because if you try to review our educational curriculum all over the world, if I've given a chance to be a spokesperson in the whole world, but I am just an ordinary citizen, just like a vlogger, if I can be heard by the leaders all over the world, it would be better to have a subject medicine in all courses. Why? Because we need to endure to protect our health so that we can stand happiness, bonding to our siblings and our family to stay longer in this contemporary world for 60 years old, 70 years old. What for is money all about if we don't care for our health? So, as early as we can, we need to introduce subject pertaining to health and medicine. But sad to say, there's no subject in medicine. That's why engineers are bulging their stomach. Okay, engineers are always hospitalized. Engineers, too much money, but others also are having kidney problem. Okay, only money. Well. What's this after all? You get the point? Me, even though I don't have a higher salary, will be just contented what God gave to us as long as we are healthy. That would be more beneficial rather than if you have all the money in the world, but out of a sudden you are having an illness, nakakaluka. So your life will be miserable for that. Okay, you get the point. So you try to compare. Okay, use your analytical thinking or critical thinking in a subject matter. You get the point. Things like that. Okay, so it's gotta be money versus health. Okay, things like that. Okay, money versus health versus wealth versus materials. Things like that. Whom you prefer to achieve real joy and happiness? Di ba? You get the point. Temporary happiness. Okay, temporary happiness, it's all about money, materials, like that. But real happiness is not. It should be wisdom from the God and also our health. You get the point. Things like that. So, pathogen, disease-causing substances. Okay? Because sometimes in a corrupted world of social media, they don't listen serious topics anymore. This is also the disadvantage in our contemporary world. What do we mean by contemporary? Meaning present world. That is adjective. Present, okay? Today, nowadays, that is contemporary. You get the point? Equivalent term. So I always keep saying, contemporary world is meaning present at this time, at this period, at this era, things like that. You get the point? Or presently, things like that. Or recently, like that. You get the point? Okay. It's very clear, right? Our conjunction, right? Things like that. So that is mutagen. This is still another gene. Mutagen. What do you mean mutagens? Oh my gosh, nakakaluka. Okay, get the point. So mutagen, what are this all about? Okay? What are this? Okay, mutagen are substances and chemicals. Okay, when you mean substances, that would mean chemicals. By the way, because all substances appear in the world are treated chemicals by default. You get the point? If you say water, that this is chemical but has a positive impact in life. Why? Because water is composed of hydrogen and oxygen, and both hydrogen and oxygen are elements in the periodic table. Do not say that if you say water that is not chemical. That's still chemical, but a helpful chemical with benefits to our health. Change your perception when we say this word like this, because it looks like silly or shallow. Okay? If you mean chemicals, you mean only bad. No, it's not. There are a lot of chemicals that helps us to survive. For example, DNA, composed of different elements and chemicals. Okay? Then, if you don't have DNA, we will die also. Meaning, we are made of chemicals. What we are, what we eat are what we are. Because most of the diseases are hormonal in nature. You get the hormonal. You get the point through hormones. You get the point things like that. So mutagen are chemicals and substances that will yield genetic mutation. Wow, I love the word genetic. Okay. So when you say mutagen, it has to do something with the genes. Okay. These are disease-causing substances that attack the genes in our DNA. Okay, this is the specific term. And then it goes the process of, it will not really proceed the right and adequate mutation. Okay, what I mean of mutation, there are in our, let me allow to explain, okay? Because in our body, we have a biome system. What do you mean by biome in biology? B-I-O-M-E. This is the area inside our body that what's there are all the positive organisms. Because guys, without organisms, there are certain chemical reactions that will not proceed if we don't have an enzymes that catalyze the reaction. But most of it also are organisms, not only substances. And these are the biome family, the positive and useful organisms. Their role is to fight these viruses, parasites, like that will come to your immune system. So actually, if you try to study extensively by comprehensive understanding, there's a lot of collaboration in order to fight these diseases and illnesses. So we have the immune system to fight virus infection. We have the leukocytes family, the white blood cells. We have the flavonoids. We have the antioxidants. We have the vitamins. We have the minerals. We have the antibodies, right? We have the immunoglobulin. Okay, substances that will kill also or recognize this viruses, whatever. Okay, you get the point? Things like that. And also, we have an important, really helpful substances that will try to stop this. Okay, mutagens. You get the point? Ganon. Guys, the danger of mutagens, guys, is, it has to do something with the mismatch of our genetic information. Okay? Now, if our DNA, kasi guys, if not matching, it is very difficult to explain, right? Because, let me allow to explain. For example, if you have the DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, the deoxyribonucleic acid have the pairing of certain chemicals. Now, if these chemicals will not pair with each other because it will be destroyed and annihilated by the mutagen, because I told you a while ago, mutagen will attack the genes in our DNA. It's not the toxin, it's not the pathogen, it's not the poison, but it's the mutagen. Okay, in our DNA. So, there will be a mismatch of these genes in a particular in our DNA. So, meaning to say, it can cause an illness. Okay, you get the point on diseases. Okay, so this is more dangerous. Okay, because if the mutagen will not be controlled, this will mutate rapidly, a billion of times into your system. That's why it will eat up the cells of your, vital organ, things like that, and then it will have a wound there, it will become swelling, like that, and then problem. It will not control anymore the different substances going out, going in, going out, going in. Things like, you get the point? So this mutagen will destroy. You get the point? So these are all bad, the mutagens. Again, these are all chemical and substances that can cause genetic mutation into our body. Okay, you get the point? And these are helping also to stop various aliens. Okay, you get the point. The mutagens also present, ha? You get the point. So mo nang mag-mutation din siya, mag-mutate ang mga viruses. Ganon. Because there are mutagens.